reporting live from the liquor store, man. How's everybody doing? We spinning the block over here in the liquor store, man. Open the doors back open. I know you've seen us over here with West Coast Landlord. And of course, we had a special guest, Terrence Parsons, in the building. So we talked a little bit about his insight on some of the things happening around the Dallas Cowboys. And now we're going to talk a little bit about Dak Prescott, right? The most controversial quarterback in the National Football League, one of the more polarizing figures. So there are reports that a deal may be imminent, that an extension is probably still going to happen. We're going to talk about the likelihood of that scenario, other possible scenarios in dealing with Dak Prescott's contract. We're just gonna have ourselves a good time in the liquor store, man. We will open all options. We'll talk about how to improve this team, and we're just gonna have ourselves an open, honest conversation in regards to the Dak Prescott's contract, cap flexibility, extensions, restructures, everything inside of his contract currently, and of course, some of y'all want a new quarterback. We'll talk about all the other stuff, man. So tune in, get you a snack, a refreshment, a beverage. We finna get drunk in the liquor store, man. But salute to everybody in the building already. My boy John Cofield in the building, helping us practice manifestation with the 6th championship trophy. Salute to you, my guy. My brother Big Benny Rich in the building, man. I see you with the 6 flexing arms. What's up with your Henny and Cowboy Nation? Miss Regina Green with the green in the building. Thank you for coming through and showing love to the liquor store. My boy T Smooth TV in the building. What's up with you? And you double down with the 6 stars, man. I see you. So, hey, y'all know the proper rules of engagement when y'all tap in with your boy Henny in the liquor store, man. First and foremost, what I want y'all to do is hit that like button. The more likes that we get on these videos, the more that these platforms will promote the content. So you want the liquor store to continue to do good. You want the platform to grow. You want the channel to grow. Hit the like button. It goes a very long way in helping your independent content creators grow and prosper. Carlos, Bruce got the toxic juice. Lunar Love, what's up with y'all? Thank y'all for sliding in and showing love to the liquor store. Also, after y'all hit that like button, make sure that y'all hit that share button. Y'all know that we do still practice manifestation in the liquor store. And listen, we probably were not manifesting hard enough this season because we went home in the first round. So if you want the Dallas Cowboys to win a 6th championship, you want them to succeed where we have failed, numerous times, make sure y'all share the content 6 times. Make sure you drop 6 emojis. T Smooth TV got the memo. Bruce got the toxic juice, got the memo. All right, everybody, make sure y'all share the content 6 times and that y'all drop 6 emojis. 434 Cowboy, what's up with you, man? They were tapping in and showing love to the channel, my boy. I appreciate you for rocking out with us. Also, man, I'ma need y'all, listen, I still need y'all to slap the shit out of an Eagles fan, man. I know that we are down in the dumps, but they are lower than us right now. They went all the way to Tampa Bay and scored 9 points. So I know the Dallas Cowboys are down bad right now, but they went from having a first round bye to having a first round exit. So y'all can go ahead and still slap the shit out of the Eagles fan. And if y'all do, I will be able to give y'all half off on all the merchandise inside the liquor store. And we got exactly what you need to succeed over here, man. We got Cowboy-ritas, we got gin, we got hen, and everything else under the sun that can make you sin. So tap in with your boy, Henny the Moore, and come get drunk in the liquor store. Eastside said Dak plays so bad he doesn't deserve an extension. They need to take some money from him. Well, that's your prerogative. That's how you feeling. I know that you're happy that your team won a playoff game for the first time in a long time. So I know that you're happy. Yes, you can slap a Texas fan as well. We're going to have to slap a Texas fan next year anyway because we play them. So it is what it is. Yo, Fresh King, what's up with you, my guy? They were tapping in and showing love to the channel, man. So, yeah, man. So I know it's very polarizing right now, but let's go ahead and just talk about it. So let me get this pulled up. So according to Michael Gilkin, Cowboys are expected to work toward a Dak Prescott extension this offseason. So according to Michael Gelkin, who is pretty knowledgeable on these sort of things, Dak Prescott is probably going to get an extension, probably another 4 or 5 years being with the Dallas Cowboys, probably stay with the Dallas Cowboys until he's out of his prime, right? He's already 30 years old. He'll be 31 this season. So he'll probably be with the Dallas Cowboys till he's like 35, 36, right? On this next deal that's coming up. Right. So on that next deal coming up, that's probably be when Dak Prescott leads the Dallas Cowboys, because that's where we're at right now with it. So they said that there's a way that they can reduce his $59.4 million cap hit without a new deal. That requires no negotiations, but we'll talk about that, right? So what are the options for Dak Prescott, right? Because everybody knows that he'll make close to $60 million next year. So you might have seen this already, but this is an article from Over the Cap. And they break down pretty much what the options are for Dak Prescott going forward in the 2024 season. So let's go ahead and share this. Y'all should be able to see it. I'm going to minimize that because I don't like that ad. Stop seeing this ad. Not interested in this ad. I don't like that shit that's popping up. Yeah, get on out of here. Ain't nobody trying to see that. All right. So this is the article looking at the Cowboys options with Dak Prescott. Right? This is an article that actually came out 2 days ago. So y'all know I like using Over the Cap for all of my cap informational needs. Hold on. There you go. Okay. So yeah, this is 2 days ago. This is very recent information. So if he takes a hit on yearly earnings, we could add him in run and block game. So let's talk about it. So these are the, hold on, I got this damn short in these headphones. It's driving me crazy, y'all. Y'all forgive me. Okay. So these are the bases of the contract right now. So 2024 will be the final year of Dak Prescott's contract with the Dallas Cowboys. His salary for the year is $34 million, which is broken down as $5 million earned on March the 17th, $29 million earned during the regular season, and his cap charge for the year will be $59.4 million, which is the second highest cap charge in the league next year. But none of his money is guaranteed. So the question be, right, y'all mad at Dak Prescott. Let's go through all the scenarios, right? Y'all mad at Dak Prescott. Y'all want him gone. So let's cut him. Fuck him. Let's cut him. All right, so if you were to try and cut Dak Prescott, right, this is what that scenario looks like. So can you cut Dak Prescott? You're mad at him. You want him gone. You know, you're just gonna try and off him. You're gonna whack Dak Prescott, right? Let's say you tried that method. If for some crazy weird reason they wrote the Cowboys wanted to cut Prescott, they could, but it would be costly. He would need to be released before the roster bonus is due, and even then, the Cowboys would need to account for $61.9 million in salary cap charges. So, in order to actually cut Dak Prescott, right, his cap number is 59 point whatever. You actually would have to eat more money cutting Dak Prescott than to just let him play out on the current deal, right? Because the cap charge they just said for the 2024 season is 59.4. To cut him, they would have to account for 61.9. So you actually lose money cutting Dak Prescott. Right now, we estimate Dallas to be about $20 million over the salary cap, which means it's going to be very difficult to take on that kind of cap charge for Dak Prescott. So you're $20 million over already, and then if you cut him, you'll have to eat the 61. That's not really something a team that's trying to build a championship roster needs to do. Now, if you wanted to go the approach of blow it up, right? You be in cap hell, and then you come out clean on the other side a couple years later. That's different. But we're sad right now going 12-5 and losing the first round. So I think everybody does not want to go through a long, drawn-out rebuild. At least the front office isn't trying to, right? They've been very clear on that. Jerry Jones old as hell. He wants to see this next championship. So let's see. So yeah, so if you try to do that, right, he said if you opt to June 1st cut Dak Prescott for any reason, Dak Prescott has voided years on his contract. So in this scenario, the Cowboys will carry Dak Prescott's cap hit of $59.4 million until June the 2nd, which point it'll drop to 25.4 for the 2024 seasons. But the Dallas Cowboys will still be on the hook for the rest of Dak Prescott's money in 2025. Dak Prescott will not even be on the team, and you'll be paying him close to $37 million. And that's the thing, Devin. Devin said, cut Dak. Hell, I paid the $61 million to you, Jerry. You can't, because I know you ain't got it. We're going to quit playing with the church's money. We're going to talk about realistic stuff. We are not going to sit here and talk with our feelings. We're mad at Dak. We're going to get rid of Dak. We're going to talk about how to actually get rid of Dak Prescott and still build a team that can contend. What is the point of cutting Dak Prescott if you cannot put a team together that will eventually be able to compete? So you can be mad at the next quarterback. We're not going to do that. I'm going to set the next quarterback up to be successful if we're going to do anything. I'm not going to have the quarterback that we want for the future, if we were to move on from Dak Prescott, to come into some bullshit. That defeats the purpose of what the hell we're talking about. What's up, Special K? So we're going to see if any of those options are available for us. We're going to see if there's any option to get rid of Dak Prescott and to still be able to put a complete team together for the next guy. Because right now, you can't run the football. Right? You can't run the football, so you need a running back. You might need to invest into some more offensive linemen in the middle. Tyler Biadasz, you might have to invest in something better than him. You might have to invest in a running back better than Tony Pollard for the next guy, because you can't run the football. Right now, the defense you got can't stop the run. And this year, they gave up 29 points per game against winning teams. So when you go to the playoffs, all you're going to see is winning teams. So your defense is not playoff ready. Your run game is not playoff ready. So guess what? Even if you got rid of Dak Prescott and then you messed your cap up, you would not have what you needed to compete. So let's talk about it. I'm mad at Dak Prescott too, but let's talk about realistic scenarios. What's up with your West Coast Cowboy? How you feeling? Hey, everybody in the nation need to show West Coast some love, because he's the one that put that Terrence Parsons interview together. It was fire-ass content. We're going to do it again real soon. But y'all make sure y'all give West Coast his flowers for making that happen, man. He ran that play. Right, so let's see. So 2025, Dak Prescott. In 2025, Dak Prescott will still account for almost $37 million against the cap, and he won't even be here if you were to cut him. So I don't see the Dallas Cowboys doing that. Because remember, you need linebacker, you need a defensive tackle, you need a running back, you might need a damn center. Right? So I don't think the Dallas Cowboys are just gonna cut him, right? Does it make sense? I mean, Mike, if you cut Dak Prescott, you're gonna definitely be losing. Because remember, we're talking about what would happen to the overall teams, right? What would happen to your team if you cut Dak Prescott? So not only would you be down a quarterback, right? You'll also be down cap room to make your team better. Are y'all trying to run Tony Pollard back out there again? Or are you trying to go with Rico Dow as your starting running back? Are you not trying to improve your defense, right? Are you not trying to improve your defense so you can actually play up against teams with winning records? Because teams with winning records scored 29 points a game against the Dallas Cowboys, right? So you got holes that you need to fill, and you really can't do that by cutting Dak Prescott. So I'm sorry. I know you're mad at Dak Prescott. It does not make sense financially to cut him. Jerry Jones, it don't make sense financially for him to cut Dak Prescott. We just being real. Facts. And Rico, you got to sign Rico. Tony Pollard, you got to sign Tony Pollard. You don't even got a running back. The running backs that are currently under contract with you right now are Deuce Vaughn and Malik Davis. Those are the two running backs that you got under contract. So financially, does it make sense to cut Dak Prescott? Unfortunately, it doesn't make sense. If you wanted to move on, you couldn't move on in that manner. Trading Dak Prescott. Now, yes, you could trade Dak Prescott. You can, if he agrees to it. Because Dak Prescott has a no trade clause. Dak Prescott will have to sign off on wherever he was to go to. So there are plenty of teams that would trade for Dak Prescott. The Atlanta Falcons would want Dak Prescott. The New Orleans Saints would want Dak Prescott. Who else is in that division? That's awful. Like, you might even say, hell, maybe Tampa, Carolina, maybe if they wanted to go with a veteran quarterback over a young rookie like Bryce Young. There are teams that would want Dak Prescott. The issue is Dak Prescott is also going to need a contract from that team, and that team is not going to want to give up assets. And Dak Prescott is not going to want to go to a team that does not have an infrastructure in place. Like, at the end of the day, Dak Prescott would not want to go anywhere where he couldn't compete. So why would teams give up a bunch for Dak Prescott? Right? Dak Prescott wouldn't want to go there. I'm sure Dak Prescott would go back to Louisiana. Right? He's from Louisiana. The issue is trading Dak Prescott, one, he have to sign off for it. Two, him having control where he goes limits what you can really get for him. If I was Dak, I wouldn't do that because I would just wait it out and become a free agent. Facts. Because remember, if Dak Prescott really wanted to go to New Orleans, right? Let's say he wanted to go to New Orleans. Why would he go to New Orleans and they have to trade away picks and everything else that could have made that team better? He could just wait until 2025, sign with that same team, them keep all of their assets, and them build around him. So he could go to New Orleans, play with Alvin Kamara, play with Chris Olave, play with Michael Thomas, play with all those guys, and keep the defense intact, keep their picks, and just sign there, because they will find a way to make the cap room. So like even a team wanting to trade for Dak Prescott, like they could just wait a year. They could just wait a year to get Dak Prescott. So that is a very valid point. So trading him is very hard to do too. Right? Because you could try, right? If he didn't have a no trade clause, you could send him anywhere. You could send him anywhere, get the best offer, and it wouldn't matter. With him having a say and having to sign off on any of his trade destinations, it really limits you being able to move him. You could sit him down and say, Dak, we want to move forward. And he could say, fuck you, I'm staying. He could say, fuck you, I'm staying. I'm going to get my money. I'm going to holler at y'all whenever I see y'all. 2025, I'm just going to dip. So, yes, you could sit him down and have that conversation. But I keep telling y'all, with the way that his contract is constructed, he is the most powerful person in Dallas right now. He has the say-so of whatever outcome he wants to happen. If you want to trade him, he can tell you no. Only thing you can do is really restructure him. Restructure him, and it will add more money to the back of those dead years. So let's talk about the dead years, the voided years on his contract, right? Because that got 2 of them. He got 2 voided years on the back end of his contract. Pretty much, just to give y'all the layman terms of what that is, those are fake ass years on the back of a contract for cap purposes. So you could put money on the back end of it, but you still have to pay that money, right? You still have to pay that money. So and that's another thing I wanted to point out to y'all. Because of the way that dead money works and these voided years work, if Dak Prescott walks, right? Let's say you don't extend Dak Prescott. Let's say you let him play out the last year of his contract and then he goes into free agency, right? Do you realize the Dallas Cowboys will still be on the hook for over $30 million for Dak Prescott? Did you know that? Hold on, let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm gonna pull it up in a different screen because I don't want to get away from this article. Hold on, man. Let me just pull it up in this different screen. I don't even want to jump out the article. I just want to show y'all what I want to show y'all. And we're gonna talk about it. All right, so this is Dak Prescott's current contract, right? This is Dak Prescott's current contract. So his cap hits 2021, 17.2. 2022 was 19.7. 2023 was 26.8. Next year, the last year of his actual contract, his cap hit will be 59.4. Well, that's the last year of his contract. Do you realize he has a cap number in 2025 still? He will still have a cap number. $36.4 million is the cap number for Dak Prescott in 2025. So even if Dak Prescott was to walk from the Dallas Cowboys and go somewhere else in free agency, the Dallas Cowboys would still owe him $36.4 million. Right? You will still be paying for Dak Prescott while he's playing for a different team. So let's put that in the chat box, everybody. Can y'all put 36.4 in the chat box for me? Because if Dak Prescott walks after this season, after the 2024 season, you would still owe this man $36.4 million. Just drop that in the chat box, 36.4. Because that is what the hell you're going to owe the man if you let him walk. If you let him walk, if you cut him, you still have a cap number for him not being on the team. And remember, you got other contracts coming up. You need that money, right? You need that money because you need to re-sign CeeDee Lamb, don't you? You got an all-pro wide receiver that needs a contract. You need to re-sign Michael Parsons, don't you? You got an all-pro pass rusher that needs a contract, don't you? Right? You need to find you a center. So you need to pay for a center, right? Don't you? You either need to re-sign Tyler Biadasz or sign you a veteran center. They might have to draft one, but you need a center. We just talked all week about linebacker play. You ain't got no damn linebackers. You need linebackers, don't you? You need to find another cornerback. So if you want to bring Stephon Gilmore back, that costs money. You got to pay Stephon Gilmore for him to be a Dallas Cowboy next year, right? Because he's a free agent. Tyron Smith, if you want to bring him back, instead of trying to find a tight end in the draft, that costs money. So you need to pay Tyron Smith too. So what I'm saying to you is there's a shit ton of people that need to get paid in Dallas, and you really is going to hurt yourself trying to pay these folks, paying a guy that's not even on your team. That's what I'm getting at right now. You got Brock Hoffman. So if you want to run with Brock Hoffman, cool. That's one problem solved. But you still got to extend CD. You still got to extend Michael Parsons. You still need to find cornerback 2, whether it be re-signing Stephon Gilmore or signing another free agent corner. Like, it's a bunch of stuff. And you really want a veteran linebacker. I know folks are high on the draft about drafting a linebacker. If you get a middle linebacker, you need somebody with experience. You got to re-sign Jonathan Hankins if you want to bring him back. If you want to keep your slot corner right now, right? If you want to run with Jordan Lewis, you got to pay his ass. So you got guys that need contracts, and it's hard to give them contracts when you got $36 million of dead money on the books. Because remember, this same thing happened with Tony Romo, right? We moved on from Tony Romo, and we had Dak Prescott. If you go back to 2018, what kind of money was Dak Prescott making? Entering the 2018 season. Hold on, let me get my boy super chat real quick. What's up with your numbhead Neil? He said Cowboys need to go all in on getting a linebacker duo, aggressive approach to acquiring 2 starters this offseason. Facts. Because listen, the most important thing for me, said as a fan, we still blaming the players and the coaches. We're blaming the front office. Everybody has culpability. And Choctaw, I want you in the building when we take the front office to trials this weekend. I know y'all saw us take the coaching staff to trial, me and Landlord. This weekend, we're going to take the front office to trial. Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, Will McClay, all of y'all will stand trial for your crimes against the Dallas Cowboys nation. So I want y'all to be there in attendance. Y'all will decide the fate of the front office, man, in the court of public opinion coming this Saturday to y'all, man. So I want y'all to be there for that. But yeah, there's definitely culpability for the front office in a lot of this, man. But yeah, and that's the point. Like the way that the things are shaping up, most of us won't feel good about this team unless we have an amazing offseason. And we sign key players at key positions and we get much better. You know what I'm saying? We get better. Then you might start feeling better about this team. He said, Henny, I'm a biased juror because they ass feel guilty to me already. Hey, I didn't ask y'all to be unbiased. I didn't ask y'all to be there to vote. Remember, your feelings are all that matters in the court of public opinion. But let's talk about it. Let me go back to Dak Prescott's history, right? All right. So remember, this is Dak Prescott's history. We got to start at the top, man. I always heard the saying that shit runs downstream, right? So there's some shit that fall on us. It's from the front office. It's from the tippy top. So this is the history of Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott made $500K in 2016. He made $600K in 2017. 2018 is the year in question. Remember, Dak Prescott made under $1 million in 2018. And what did the front office do? Did they get super aggressive in free agency? Hell no. Them boys signed Allen Hurns, and they signed Deontay Thompson to come in in the wide receiving room. That's when we cut Dez Bryant. We cut Dez Bryant, and we went wide receiver by committee. We went wide receiver by committee with Dak Prescott making under $1 million. We did not do what the 49ers did, right? We didn't do what the 49ers did. When the 49ers got Brock Purdy, right? They got Brock Purdy. They figured out he could play a little bit of football. Shit, they started signing everything around him. They traded for Christian McCaffrey. You know, they got the deal done with Deebo Samuel. Like, the 49ers did it right. They're taking advantage of having a 7th round pick quarterback on a rookie deal. Dak Prescott was a 4th-round pick rookie, right, on a rookie deal, and the Dallas Cowboys did not build a dominant roster around him. In fact, they took away weapons. They took Dez Bryant from that man when we all felt like he still had a little bit of juice left. They took Dez Bryant away from him, and they went out there with Deontay Thompson and Allen Hurns and a rookie Michael Gallup and Cole Beasley and said, "Get it done." They didn't even invest. They didn't invest on the defensive side of the ball like that, man. Our defense wasn't the same defense that we was, right? We didn't have this dominant defense back then. We didn't even invest in the safety room. So the Dallas Cowboys, when they had opportunity to have Dak Prescott on a minimal deal, they did not invest in him. Right? They didn't invest any money right then. The man made under $1 million 3 straight years. But what they blamed it on, right? Exactly, Special K. And they didn't build around him because they blamed it on Tony Romo's contract. They said, "We still paying Romo. We got this dead money." They were out there bitch talking about pie, like the slice of the pie. So you mean to tell me y'all believe if they were to cut Dak Prescott or move on from Dak Prescott, and we got a rookie quarterback in here, y'all actually believe they would invest in him? Right? You actually believe they would invest in that quarterback when their track record has already shown you just a couple of years ago in a similar situation? We like our guys. They were hands off. They sat on their hands. We like our guys. We like our guys. Because remember, we already seen this same song and dance. So that's why a part of me, I'm mad at Dak Prescott. I really don't know if he's the guy for real. But I know I have a better chance of them extending him and then trying to make themselves look right? If they give Dak Prescott a contract, they open up roster space, right? And they want to make themselves look correct. They want to make themselves look correct in signing him back. So I actually believe there's a bigger chance of them putting more pieces around Dak Prescott than it is of them putting pieces around another young up-and-coming quarterback. Because the last time they were in a similar situation, we like our guys. Dak Prescott can do it with Deontay Thompson. Dak Prescott can do it with Allen Hurns. Dak Prescott doesn't need superstars on the defense. He got it. And it took that shit blowing up in their face for them to go get Amari Cooper. They were not finna get Amari Cooper. It took Dak Prescott and the Cowboys being this close to winning some games, right? They were this close to beating Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans with a ragtag team and wide receivers. That shit went to overtime. They were this close from beating the Washington Commanders, but we missed the field goal, right? So we were this close from being a winning team with the bullshit they had going on around him before they went and got Amari Cooper. Because we were 3-4 when they made the trade for Amari Cooper. We should have been a 5-3 team, but their own hubris, the bullshit that they did, right? The bullshit that they did, they are the reason that they had to just suck it up and trade for Amari Cooper, right? So we seen this same song and dance again. We seen it. Now, part of me wants to believe that they would turn over a new leaf and go get a young, amazingly talented quarterback, bring him in, we build around him. They don't do that shit. And I just want to be real with y'all. We know the organization that we cheer for. We need to stop living in a fantasy world, man. This shit has been on my spirit. We need to stop living in a fantasy world when it comes to discussing the Dallas Cowboys front office. Because we can hope and believe, but they got a track record that shows what they will do in a similar situation. Dak Prescott making under $1 million. They did not build a contender around him. So you mean to tell me we get a first round quarterback and still have to pay Dak Prescott? They're actually gonna go out here and build the roster up in the way that we need to build it? Cause we already know we got a laundry list of things we gotta improve on before we can be a team that can compete. We know we need a running game. We know we need to find ways to improve our offensive line because we got two guys that are going to age out soon. Tyron Smith is 33 years old. Zach Morton is 33 years old. We gotta get some shit in place to replace them. We gotta pay our all-pro wide receiver. We gotta pay our all-pro pass rusher. So you mean to tell me they're gonna do all that and add more while paying a quarterback that's not even gonna be on the team and a first-round rookie? We're living in a fantasy world and we think that shit's gonna happen. Because they done showed you who the hell they was multiple times. They done showed you who they was multiple times, bro. They done showed you. So I don't want to get on here and sound negative, but I don't trust them. I don't trust the front office to do the right thing. So let's keep talking about Dak Prescott's contract. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So it don't sound realistic for the front office to build up a good team if you cut them. It don't sound realistic for the front office to build up a good team if you let him walk because you got to pay him. It don't sound realistic to trade Dak Prescott because I don't think Dak Prescott would willingly waive his no trade clause because when he could just get paid $59 million here and wait a year. And for the folks saying bench him, you can do that. It still doesn't help our cap. Because then you just got the most expensive backup in the league, and that does not help any goddamn body. It don't help any goddamn body. So you could bench him, and he'll be a $60 million backup. You could cut him and still have to pay him over $30 million. You can let him walk and still have to pay him over $30 million. Or, even if you restructure him, there's dead money on the deal, remember? There's already a voided year on the deal. So if you were to restructure Dak Prescott, you would be adding more dead money on the 2025 season. So it makes it even harder for you to be successful when he walks. You can get a year of relief and then have to pay for Dak Prescott a little bit more down the line. Or you can extend them. You can get cap relief for the next 3 years, right? Because remember, I already showed you Dak Prescott's contract when he was making $40 million a year, right? Let's not get it twisted. It's said $40 million a year, but has Dak Prescott made $40 million in a single season yet? He hasn't. Because remember, the cap number is the cap number. Cap number is the most important thing. It could be 160, 100. It could be 160, $40 million a year. But really, what that 160, $40 million a year was $17.2 million the first year. It was $19.7 million the first year. It was $26.8 million this year. Dak Prescott is a $40 million quarterback that has not made $40 million yet in a single season. So he could be a $60 million quarterback that never makes $60 million in a year if you restructure him. If you extend him. So I know a lot of folks are ready to move on from Dak Prescott. Myself included, I said Dak Prescott might just be Tracy McGrady. He might put up the best regular season stats you ever seen, and he might just be a no call, no show in the postseason. That's possible. That's possible. But in football, you don't have to be the man in order to win a championship. Like Dak Prescott can get me through the regular season, and then if I invest good enough, I got a fire ass run game and a game plan and a defense that can get me through the postseason. Right? I might not even have to depend on Dak Prescott. I might be able to get a fire ass run game and a fire ass defense to supplement some of that. But the point of it all, the point that matters is moving on from Dak Prescott is not likely. Statistically, mathematically, it's not likely. and we need to add. We need to add, not subtract. We're already a consistent 12-win team. Getting rid of Dak don't improve us at all. Add pieces. I mean, where I'm at with it right now, man, they've already told you. They've already told you what they want to do. Like, the reports of Dak Prescott being close to an extension are out there because they want you to be ready for it. Just like the reports for Dan Quinn possibly being back if he don't get a job, they want you to be ready for it. He wants you to be ready for it. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen. We done went through the scenarios as a family, right? We just sit up here and looked at the possibilities of moving on from Dak Prescott. Trading him was not likely because he can just wait a year and get paid $60 million. You bench him, he'll be a $60 million backup. He don't give a damn. He can be completely healthy when he goes to his next team the following year. If you let him walk, you still owe him $36 million. If you cut him, you still owe him the money from the dead money from this year, and you'll owe him $36 million the next year. Right? So really your options to improve your team are to really just extend the man. Extend them. Trust. I'm not even saying trust, but the front office always has a pattern in the things that they do. The front office has a pattern in the things that they do. The front office does not make moves to try and improve the team until they want to make themselves look right. So they'll build some shit around Dak Prescott once they give him an extension to make themselves look right on giving him the deal. But in terms of going out here and getting rid of him and then expecting them to get a first round pick quarterback and pay Dak Prescott and also pay guys in free agency, they're not going to do it. They already showed you what happened the last time some shit like that happened. They already showed you. So I just want to be honest with y'all. It may not be what a vast majority of us want, but it's going to be what happens. And I just want y'all to be ready for it. Dak Prescott will probably be a $56 to $59 to $60 million a year quarterback. It said, but Henny, what if I'm a fan that's overly emotional about money that isn't mine? Shit, just pray about it. That's what I'll tell y'all. Pray about it. That's all you can do. Fresh King said it's been front office meddling. We have 12 Pro Bowlers on this team and still didn't make conference championship. Facts. He said, what if Dak Prescott regressed even more? Has he regressed? Had Dak Prescott regressed at all in the regular season? If we're going to be mad, we're going to be mad about the stuff that matters. Dak Prescott just made an All-Pro this year. So I get it. I don't think Dak Prescott is a great playoff performer. I don't. But I'm not going to sit here and lie like he's a bad quarterback. We can be mad about shit that actually happened. You gave Dak Prescott a contract. He's won a division twice in those 3 years. We had a winning record all 3 of those seasons. He made an All-Pro team. So he's not a guy that was going to regress. Like he's going to finish second in MVP voting. He's going to finish second in MVP voting. Like, there are shit to actually be mad at Dak Prescott about, and then there's the shit that we're talking about right here. We're not going to entertain that. We're not going to entertain that. We'll entertain trying to make Dak Prescott a better postseason performer. I am not at all worried about regular season Dak Prescott. There are only like 2 or 3 quarterbacks I would take over Dak Prescott in the regular season. Postseason is what concerns the shit out of me. The playoffs is what concerns the shit out of me. Right? So there are things to be mad at about Dak Prescott, but we don't have to make shit up. There's enough. There's already enough to be mad at Dak Prescott about. We don't have to make shit up to be mad at him. Shout out to my boy Numbhead Neil for the 10 piece. My thing is, if we're stuck for 2 more seasons with Dak, may as well build like a motherfucker around him for those 2 years and do your best to build a title winner. Fact, cause listen, you can still build a team, draft well, and you can have everything in place for when the Dak Prescott era ends. You can have everything in place for when the Dak Prescott era ends, right? So Dak has to be. It said Dak is ass and won't. Wrong spelling of that, of course, but he said and won't do shit in playoffs. Fuck the regular season. Well, we'll see. Like I said, it's not like he's never won a playoff game before, right? And that's the thing. I want to build shit around Dak Prescott and try again. And if it doesn't work, then you just put another quarterback in there once you get the foundation there. Like I see, Devin, you're mad, and it's okay. You're highly upset. You'll be okay. You will live with it. You'll be just fine, my guy. Dak Prescott contract won't hurt you that long. You can call him ass the full 4-5 years he's here. Nobody cares. We'll figure it out. If they're gonna keep him, we'll figure out a way to make the team better so we can actually compete. And of course, Fresh King, we weren't happy with 8-8. We were not happy with 8-8. Joshua Fisher, how you living, my boy? And that's the thing, man. He said it's sad that most of our fan base has no clue. Listen, he's a good. I'm gonna keep saying it. Dak Prescott is a good regular season performer, and we just need to put some shit around him in the postseason. I do not believe that he should have to be Superman in the postseason. So ain't no way to see. I done seen already 8 years of it. You finna see another 4 or 5 years, Devin. It is what it is at this point. But I also believe when you look at the other teams that are still left in the playoffs, they're not asking their quarterbacks to be superhumans. The Baltimore Ravens defense did not even allow a touchdown this last game. Right? They're playing good ball defensively. Their running backs are being very productive. So they got run games. They can stop the run. Their defense are not letting opposing teams score a bunch of points. Those are things that you will have to improve on for the Dallas Cowboys. Right? Those are the things you will have to improve on for the Dallas Cowboys in order to compete with any quarterback that we put up there. And that's a very good question. He said, again, why Dak the only quarterback that doesn't need to have a run game? Every single playoff survivor has an elite run game. And that's the point. You need that to be successful in the postseason. Right? Because remember, this next postseason, there has not been back-to-back division champion winners, right? So there ain't been back-to-back winners of the NFC East. So next year, we might have to go on the road in the playoffs. Right? It's supposed to rain in San Francisco. It rained the last playoff game in San Francisco. We might have to go to Green Bay where it's snowing. We might have to go to Philadelphia where it might snow, where the weather might be bad. You need a good run game any damn way. Right? Because you might have to go on the road to win a playoff game. So you need to be able to run the football. You may not be able to throw the ball 40 times in the conditions that's out there. You might have to play a playoff game in the snow if you end up going to New York or something like that. You might have to play a playoff game in the snow in Philadelphia or play a playoff game in the snow in Washington, right? Everybody else in the division, their stages are outside. So you need to have a run game any damn way. What if Washington gets good and they host a playoff game? What if Philadelphia wins the division and they host a playoff game? What if New York wins the division and they host a playoff game? Right? You need to have your team built for that shit anyway. You might have to go to Green Bay. You might have to go away from your comfort zone and win a game. You can't really do that letting teams score 30 points, letting teams run the ball up and down on you willy-nilly, not being able to run the football. Like, you can't really do that. So regardless of who the quarterback is for the Dallas Cowboys, it could be Dak, it could be Cooper Rush, it could be Trey Lance, it could be a quarterback in the future. You need to build your team in a way to win playoff games. Your team is not really constructed in the way to win playoff games. That's why I was really excited to have these home games. The Dallas Cowboys want to throw the ball 40 times. They want to throw the ball 40 times, get up on a lead, and play against the pass. That's not playoff. That's not really playoff football. It's a much more physical brand of football. A lot less points are usually scored. It's just a different brand of football, and I don't think our team is really built for it right now. If Dan Quinn leave, who gonna get the DC job? Probably Witt. Probably be Witt. So listen, y'all make great points, right? You do need that in order for a quarterback to be successful. But listen, the writing's on the wall. Financially, they'll probably bring Dak Prescott back on the extension. It doesn't mean that you can't draft a quarterback, right? You can still, if y'all are mad at Dak Prescott, what y'all actually need to be doing is trying to find a quarterback that you can sit behind Dak Prescott and treat him like Jordan Love, right? Find me a quarterback that's worth the 24th overall pick in the draft. Draft him after you extend Dak Prescott. Let him sit, learn as much as he can, and if Dak Prescott, by the time he's in his mid-30s, hasn't gotten a Super Bowl, or he doesn't want to be in Dallas no more, you have a contingency plan. So that's probably the most important thing to do, was to draft a contingency plan that you believe in, right? Draft a quarterback, groom him, because Dak Prescott is a good dude. He's not going to treat him like Aaron Rodgers did Jordan Love, or how Brett Favre did Aaron Rodgers. So sign yourself a quarterback, extend Dak Prescott, let him tutor him for the 4 or 5 years that Dak Prescott's going to be here, and call it a damn day. That's the best of both worlds. That's the best of both worlds for y'all. Y'all can sign your current quarterback for another half a decade, and you can also draft a quarterback that can be the future for you. You can do both, right? You don't have to do just one or the other. You can do both if you really wanted to, because that other teams did it. That's how you went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. That's how they went from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. You can have a guy sitting behind him. And if you think Trey Lance is him, if you think Trey Lance is the heir apparent, if you think that Trey Lance is the heir apparent, then you can just go out there and give him a little bit of money to stick around. It doesn't really matter. Because remember, you always should be looking to improve every position, right? Listen. He said you need to extend Dak, can't be wasting picks. Well, hear me out. I plan on extending CeeDee Lamb, and I will still use a first-round pick on a wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have the best of both worlds, so you don't ever have to worry about shit. You can have the best of both worlds. And even if you don't use a first-round pick on a guy, you can just extend Trey Lance to give him good backup money to stay around. Right? Point is, you need a young quarterback that can stay in Dallas and learn some shit. If you think Trey Lance is the guy, cool. Holler at him, give him a little bit of money to stay around, and he can learn from Dak Prescott. Right? He can be quarterback number 2, taking the reps when we done blew somebody out, and Dak Prescott on the sideline chilling in his fourth quarter hat. It doesn't really matter. You can extend Dak Prescott, build a team around him, and still find somebody to sit and learn. For everybody that's concerned about the future. Because it doesn't really matter to me at this point. Front office going to do whatever the hell they going to do, but I need them to do that expeditiously. If you're going to extend Dak Prescott, go ahead and do it. If you're going to trade Dak Prescott and you can talk him into going, go ahead and do it. But at the end of the day, go ahead and go with your move, damn it. Don't sit here and let us, flounder in the damn wind. BPA always. Always go BPA. Said the team is $20 million over the cap right now. They can't extend anyone without doing that first. Shit, I don't blame Trey. I wouldn't blame Trey if he wanted to wait. Spotlight shine bright as hell in Dallas. But yo, that's been my time for today, man. Y'all been great. I appreciate y'all for coming in and showing love to the liquor store. I just wanted to have that conversation with y'all, man. I really just wanted to have that conversation with y'all in regards to Dak Prescott's contract, what was likely, what was feasible, what they could do, what they couldn't do. Right? So I just thought that conversation needed to be had. But matter of fact, I'm gonna before we leave, man. Before we leave, if y'all got questions, put them in the chat box. I'll answer them real quick. We can do some Q&A. It could be draft talk. It could be free agency talk. It could be whatever y'all want to talk about, man. It could be whatever y'all want to talk about. I'm here to listen. I'm here to give answers if I got it. So let's do some Q&A for a little bit, man. We'll wrap it up after that. So let's do some Q&A and then we can move around. So go ahead, drop your question in the chat box. Currently, the only chance we have. It said Dak to stay but for 4 years. Okay. So question, how long do you think his extension will be? Do you think it'll be a 3-year extension and you just rework the money on this last year? Or do you think it'll be a flat out 4-year deal that keep him in Dallas for 5? All right, so Jackie asks Dan Quinn, DC if Dan Quinn leaves. Knowing the Dallas Cowboys and also knowing that Mike McCarthy is on a 1-year deal without an extension, because Mike McCarthy's future is in doubt, there is not a young, bright defensive coordinator that's going to come to Dallas, right? There's not a young, bright mind defensive coordinator that's going to come to Dallas knowing that Mike McCarthy's head is on the chopping block. So odds are the Dallas Cowboys will have to hire somebody internally. So like Keith Bruce said, Al Harris, another name to watch for is Joe Witt. Those are the two names to watch for. It's going to be either Al Harris or Joe Witt being the next defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys, because nobody else is going to come over here and pitch their wagon to Mike McCarthy knowing that they could be fired at any day and be jobless. I mean, listen, the moment that the Dallas Cowboys announced they were not going to give Mike McCarthy an extension, the moment that they announced that he would be pretty much neutered, because nobody gonna come for that. Nobody is going to come over here. Because remember, if Mike McCarthy gets fired, the defensive coordinator is probably gonna get fired because the next head coach is gonna have his own coaching staff. The next head coach is gonna have their own coaching staff, so they might not keep the DC. They got friends and people they owe favors to, so they're gonna bring their people in. So a DC is not gonna come up here and be tied to Mike McCarthy when Mike McCarthy has no guarantees of being in Dallas past this season. So I don't really see it. It's gonna have to be one of those two. It will be an internal hiring. Said, what kind of organization is this? We put the whole organization on hold from doing anything while the former DC goes through his second round of interviews. This is so backwards. Yeah, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it matters. You know, like I just pointed out, Roy, ain't nobody finna come here and for a year and get fired next year. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no young upstart defensive coordinator gonna come here and get hired by Mike McCarthy, be a part of Mike McCarthy's coaching staff, where Mike McCarthy and his entire coaching staff could be gone by the 2025 season. So yes, it's ass backwards. I would have already went ahead and made a suggestion, made a move, but at the same time, I think in their mind they've already decided on who the next defensive coordinator is going to be. I think the next defensive coordinator has already been selected, and remember, they like Dan Quinn. Us, the fans, are the ones that are ready to move on from Dan Quinn. If Dan Quinn don't get the job, they're going to bring him back. So you know who your defensive coordinator is going to be. It will either be A, Dan Quinn, because his ass did not get a job, or B, it'll be Joe Witt or Al Harris. The Dallas Cowboys ain't going to do nothing spectacular for defensive coordinator. I don't want to get your hopes up. I don't want to lie to y'all at all, because realistically, that's what's going to happen. He said, I wouldn't work under the Jones family unless my life depended on it. I understand that. He said, any linebacker or running back free agent. Man, listen, there are great running backs that are free agents. Saquon Barkley is a name that comes to mind. Dallas is a team that might be able to use his services. Derrick Henry will be a free agent. I don't know how y'all feel about him, or if he fits our offensive scheme, because I don't know how deep they're going to dive into actually implementing a running game. And then the name I really wanted, Josh Jacobs. Like, you paid Tony Pollard $10 million this year. I would give him Josh Jacobs a 4-year, $40 million contract to be the Dallas Cowboys running back for the foreseeable future. I would give him 4 years, $40 million, or 4 years, $44 million. Whatever it takes, I would give Josh Jacobs that bread. He said Dallas is going to go offensive line maybe twice in the early rounds. It's a possibility, right? You know, Jay Took put us on game about the Morgan boy from Arizona. Mel Kiper actually doubled down on that. Mel Kiper actually mocked the Morgan kid to us too. He's a great tackle from Arizona. So, you know, I wouldn't mind. Jordan Morgan is his name. Y'all might want to go take a film study. I'm pretty sure Jay Tuck and them did a film study on. Said, random question. After that game, what's your overall thoughts on Jordan Love? Jordan Love's a very good young quarterback. He got a great arm talent, athleticism. Needs to probably work on some of those fuck it throws that he makes. Like, he's really comfortable trying to throw off his back foot. That's not going to work all the time. We actually seen that to come back and bite him in his last playoff game. But I think he's a good talent. You know, he was second in the NFL in passing touchdowns behind Dak Prescott. So the talent's there. So I think he's a good quarterback. He's better than Jalen Hurts, in my opinion. Remember, Jalen Hurts has never thrown for 30 touchdowns in a year. He's never thrown for 30 touchdowns. And he got a Heisman Trophy winner. He got an all-pro wide receiver. He got a Pro Bowl tight end. He got everything. Good offensive line. He ain't never thrown for 30 touchdowns. Never. So, you know, I think Jordan Love's a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. And no, I don't give a damn about those tush-push touchdowns. Said that center is nice. Y'all got any more questions, man? Going once, going twice. All right. Did Derrick Henry with Hunter Luke, he would be a monster. With Dak Prescott, you can do a lot. I think Dak Prescott would be a better quarterback with a run game. The less stuff that you put on his plate, the better he should be. Rebuild the O-line, definitely need to rebuild it. All right, I think that's time, man. All right, man. I appreciate y'all for coming over and rocking with your boy in the liquor store. You know, I was able to give y'all an hour of premium Dallas Cowboys content. So on the way out, man, please make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that share button. Make sure y'all slap the dog shit out of an Eagles fan, man. And I will be live sometime tomorrow. I will be live sometime tomorrow, man. So peace, God bless, and I will get at y'all, man.